So, I haven't made a recording like this for quite a while. I have a series of self-help videos. They're actually hosted, most of them are hosted on a different site, which I'll provide a link to in the doobly-doo. And on my blog, which is debbiecares.blogspot.com. I started making self-help videos not because I think of myself as any particular hero or prime example or even especially good advice, but I started making the video because I found that my entire circle of friends would come to me for advice. So clearly somebody thinks that I'm worthy listening to. And I found myself giving them, especially my virtual friends, the same advice over and over. And honestly, I got a little tired of repeating myself. So I started making videos on particular subjects that I often spoke to with my dear friends, or even specifically for a specific friend that would ask for something that I would make a recording for. And I have almost nobody that ever visits my page. The only people that really see my self-help videos are the ones that I send there. And I have no problem with that. I'm not doing it to try and be famous. I'm not trying to do it to make money. I'm not doing it to try and honk my own horn. I made these videos, and I am continuing to make these videos because I love people and I love my friends, and because of the experiences I've had and the things that I've learned, I think that maybe I have something to offer. Now, that being said, just a disclaimer, I, of course, am not a doctor. I call my page Dr. Deb because it became something of a joke. I have aspirations of a PhD in psychology and counseling, but at the moment I am currently only about an associate's worth of a medical professional, and I'm working on getting my hypnotherapy certification. But until such a time as that happens, I'm not actually certified to answer any questions or to give advice. So, little disclaimer there. That being said, the reason I'm making this particular video is for someone in particular. Dad, you know who I'm talking to. The reason I titled it what I was, Fire, little factoid that I heard on some talk show, I think once, little piece of advice, very wise and very disturbing. When a woman is being assaulted, if she is being attacked, especially sexually, she should not call out rape. She should in fact call fire. Because statistics show and studies show that if a woman calls rape, she might not get a response from the public, but if she calls fire, she's much more likely to have someone come running. So that's actually a little tip I gave someone the other day. And also because, you know, one word exclamation point might get me more hits. But anyway, so this is just a video for those of you that are currently in crisis. Okay? So here goes nothing. If you currently find yourself in dire straits, whether emotionally, physically, psychologically, whatever, if you find yourself at a point of crisis, these are a few helpful tips that might help you hang on by your fingernails until you get to where you need to be, or at least no longer in crisis. First off, breathe. I know this seems really obvious, but breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And if you have the opportunity, and if it's not going to endanger your life, close your eyes and think to yourself, or say it out loud, re, on the inhale, lax on the exhalation, and concentrate on the membrane between your nostrils. Think about it really hard. Think about it and imagine it cleaning out any fear or any bad negative emotions or anything. Think about it cleaning the air. That little membrane is sucking out all the bad things. Okay? And just think about your breathing. And if you can do it for a full 60 seconds or 120 seconds, it will physiologically change your response. It will slow a heart rate, it'll slow your thoughts, it'll slow down the fight or flight response that we have in response to genuine danger or perceived danger, like, for instance, a panic attack. I am currently on vacation at my friend's house. If you look at the books behind me, and the movies behind me, it could as well be my shelf, my books, my movies. I have a dear friend who's very like me. And so I'm having a really great time. I had a very stressful couple of weeks, and a lot of that stress was brought on by trying to help people that I love very much. And I have others that criticize me for wanting to help too much, but it was necessary. What I did was necessary, but it was also took a toll on me emotionally. So I ran away to Las Vegas to my friend's house to get a little recuperation, to relax. And even while here on my vacation, doing my very best to disengage from people that can cause me some stress and just focus on taking care of me and breathe and enjoy myself, even now I wake up with panic attacks. And my favorite way of dealing with panic attacks is doing this very breathing techniques. So, number one in crisis, breathe. Number two, try to logically consider what it is you're feeling and why you are feeling that way. Because if it is, oh my God, I'm in the water, there's a great white shark behind me, and I just cut myself on a surfboard, that fight or flight response might not be a bad idea. In fact, fucking swim for the shore, okay? But if instead you are panicking and having a complete flip-out moment for no obvious perceived danger or real danger, if it is instead a panic attack or anxiety brought on by being triggered, what's known as triggered. And triggered is, in this instance, when a situation or something that's said or perceived or some sort of sensation, some sort of sensory input reminds us of another traumatizing event, usually something in our childhood, but another traumatizing event. Somehow in our mind, these two stimuli, these two things are inextricably linked. And that association can, when you have the first observable perception or sensory input, it then is connected to this other trauma, and that trauma, whether it comes to the forefront or not, causes a anxiety and stress response. And I do this a lot. In fact, I do this to other people inadvertently because I'm very open about the fact that I've had hard things in my life. I'm very open about it, I'll talk about it, and I'm very honest about it, and I try not to shove it in people's face, but because I am willing to discuss things that were difficult for me, hard things that happened, and discuss my relative mental health in terms of those things, I trigger people around me all the time. So if you are in fact being triggered, or you think perhaps you're being triggered, just acknowledge, okay, I am being triggered. There is something that is upsetting me. I don't know what it is, it's not obvious, whatever. So try and think logically about what is happening, because there's another really nifty trick, that if you engage the frontal lobe of your brain, it will disengage the limbic system. The hind lizard brain they talk about, the lizard brain is where you go, ah, I'm on fire! If in fact you're not actually on fire. And, well, if you are as well. And it can be a very valid and reasonable response to things. And the limbic system is imperative to our, thinking and perceiving and reacting to things without having to consciously think about them. It's, it's the caveman Neanderthal part of our brain. And it's there for a reason. But the way to disengage from the limbic system, to disengage from the lizard brain, is to purposely take your thoughts up to the frontal lobe, to your conscious, deliberate, logical thinking. And so if you get scared, if you get upset, immediately get curious. This is what saves my life all the time. Get curious. Your heart's beating really fast, and you don't know why. All you know is that you walked into the room and you smelled something, and something about that smell reminded you of something else, and you're freaking out and you don't know why. Get curious. Think about something else within your immediate vicinity and get curious about it. Oh gosh, that's an instant crack in the wall. Huh, that looks like the crack from Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Whatever it is, get curious, get logical, and it will disengage you from the limbic system, and it will help to calm you down. So that's 2. 1, breathe. 2, think logically and disengage the limbic system. And 3, if none of those things are working, and you have the time now or a later time after you pass the panic attack or whatever it is that the stress response is, you need to find out what is it triggered you, what is it that's upsetting you, what is the problem. Because if it wasn't a genuine danger, like roaming across a grizzly bear on your camping trip, then you need to find out what the heck is going on. And the only person that can find that out is you. Now, there are people that can help. There are people like myself. There are qualified professionals. There are friends. There are family. There are clergy. There are all sorts of individuals that can help you in this discovery. But the reality is, only you can find out what's going on in your head, and only you, and higher power if you believe in one, can help you to get over it and to heal yourself from whatever it was. So my very, very, very favorite thing is this really cool left hand, right hand writing thing. And I've got a whole video on it that I will put a link to right here, explaining this technique. It's a 7-minute long video. It's the coolest technique I ever learned in all of my 21 years plus of therapy. And it works very well for me. But in the short version, I'll just give you an abbreviated version. The abbreviated is, you get yourself pen and paper, you sit down and you write with your dominant hand, in my case my right, a question, oftentimes things like, am I feeling afraid? And then you put the pen in your non-dominant hand, which accesses the other hemisphere of your brain, which is primarily where your conscious mind resides, and you are able to then actually interview your own subconscious. So you put the pen in the other hand, and you work very hard not to censor yourself, and you answer it. And your writing's going to be horrible, and it doesn't matter because you'll know what you intend to say. And then you talk to yourself. And you not only use it as a means of digging up whatever it is that's bothering you, but it's a way of talking to your own subconscious and comforting and soothing yourself. I will do this all the time. I will write and answer. I used to use 2 different pens to keep them straight. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And not only just question and answer, but then sometimes, instead of a question, it'd be a statement. I know that we're feeling afraid. I know that I'm feeling afraid. But I need to remember that what's happening is long past. That this thing that I'm afraid of isn't reality right now, and it's going to be okay. And you have to be kind to yourself. So, 1, breathe. 2, become logical. 3, figure out what the heck it is that is your problem, and I would recommend this self-help diagnostic left and right hand writing thing. And then 4, do the very best you can to let it go. Be nice to yourself, take a break, eat some chocolate, be with friends, do something you love, like read your favorite author. This is my particular favorite author. Watch YouTube videos, watch some Vlogbrothers, because for me, they never fail to make me feel happy or engaged or amused or intellectually stimulated and part of a community. That's the other thing, number 5, or part of 4, is that you try and be with other people that make you feel safe and loved. And whether that's your online friend that you Skype with on the far side of the planet, or it's your favorite stuffed teddy bear, or it's that person you work with that you really enjoy their company but you've never hung out with, give them a call, because most people are good and decent people. Most people want to help. Most people genuinely care if you give them a chance to be there for you in the means and accept the amount of affection or concern or care they can give you. Because that's the other thing. You got to meet people where they're at. I have people that I really, really love that I wish could be there for me, you know, at the level of affection and support that I give them, but it's just not reality. And so if I accept them at whatever level they're at, then we're both happy. But if I instead reject them or feel resentful of them because they're not giving me the level of affection or support that I feel I would give them, then both of us are going to be unhappy. So if you're in crisis, if your world's on fire, take care of yourself, be nice to yourself, only you can help yourself. And know that there are good people out there that love you. You may not even know who they are. You may not have met them yet. You may not understand that someone that you don't know well genuinely has love for you. But I promise you, there is no one on the face of this wide earth that has no one that loves them, no matter how they feel about that. Even if it's just people that that loved them previously and have passed on to the next life. I truly, truly believe that we have a loving, benevolent higher power, and that we are looked over and cared for by those that have not yet come and those that will yet come, and those that have come and gone. Be nice to yourself. Take care of yourself. Whatever it is that's going on, whatever that's hard, whatever is rough, it'll pass, and you're going to get through it. I promise you with all the fervor of my spirit and my soul, that whatever it is you are suffering, this too shall pass. Feel free to visit my blog. Feel free to leave me comments or questions. Please, 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 please share this. I'm not going to beg you to make it viral, but I would love to share my hard-won experience and wisdom with other people. For now, this is Dr. Deb signing out. And as always, don't forget to be awesome. Oh, and editor's note, the reason I'm wearing my wings, not just because it's almost Halloween, but I thought I'd engage in my sense of whimsy and to help everybody remember to believe in impossible, magical things, like love. Okay, friends, that's all for now. Have a great day. Bye.